Hello, everybody. Jacob from Wager Me This here. This is going to be Wednesdays with Wager, Week 8, NFL Week 8. So far, it's been pretty good. We've done pretty well. My picks for the last week was 3-1. I think I lost on the teasers, maybe two of the teasers out of 7 or 9 or whatever the heck it was. I think it was just 2. Not 100% sure on that exactly. I don't necessarily keep up with that. I keep up with the money, and the money's going up, and that's what matters. So let's get into it. This week we have an interesting game. I think this would have been really good if all the players were healthy, but all the players ain't healthy, so it's probably not going to be all that good. But we got Minnesota heading to LA to face the Rams. 2 dome teams, so no advantage there really. I don't know that the Rams have a real home field advantage as it is anyway. Like, they don't even play by themselves in their own stadium. So some things about this one is the Rams have actually played a bunch of really good close games. Problem is they've lost most of them, right? You know, they played the Lions to overtime. Probably outplayed the Lions in that game and got the loss because they didn't get the ball in overtime. They played Green Bay to a 5-point game. They played Chicago to a 6-point game. They beat San Francisco. So the Rams have actually been in almost every game, and they've been competitive because they don't make a lot of mistakes on offense. They run the ball a lot. They play pretty good defense, but nothing is great. And when they lost both receivers at one point, and now, you know, obviously Puka's coming back, Kupp's been in and out, it's just not the same feel. And now people are talking about Kupp getting traded. The Rams feel like they're in a transition period to me, where I think they're going to transition out of all these big contracts here and get younger, similar to what some other teams like the Bills have done and different things. I think that's the path they're on here. Their owner is kind of notorious for this. And it is what it is. The Rams are who they are, right? They're not winning anything this year. So there's not a... Sorry, it's wiggly, huh? That's my bad. The Rams aren't going to win anything this year, even though their division is still up for grabs. I think that's the only reason they haven't necessarily... Hello, insane gamer kid. That's probably the only reason they haven't just... How your day been? My day's been fine. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go, Googs. Interesting. Why are all these gaming people coming in here? Cool, though. Hey, if you're into sports betting, there you go. Your name is Jake? My name is Jake. What is this? Where is Google sending me? Or YouTube, I mean. But anyways, for all the people... What is someone just sent $100,000? What do you do? Okay, I'm not really sure where all this is coming from. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too, doesn't it? Oh, how are you, Lisa? But anyway, so let's just talk about who Minnesota is. Minnesota is one of the best teams in the NFL, right? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So Minnesota is one of the best teams in the NFL. They just played an amazing game versus the Lions. They came up short by one score, 1 field goal. They were trading field goals at the end of the game. So it's not out of the realm to think that Minnesota blows out the Rams. The line is only 3. And I just want to talk about some stuff really quick in this game. That Minnesota is the best in the NFL at taking the ball away. They're first in interceptions. So that's a big deal when you're playing Matthew Stafford, because Matthew Stafford will throw you the football. So this one, I'm not going to overthink it here. I think Minnesota's the better team with the better defense, even though their defense hasn't played as well lately. I think they're the better team with the better defense, and I don't think that the Rams have anyone to cover Justin Jefferson. And so I think he has like a really, really big day. And so in this one, I'm taking Justin Jefferson TD and his yardage over. Last I saw his yardage over when I was getting it was like 83. I'm going to wait and see because I'm going to wait till closer to the game because I want to try to get a plus money bet on that. I don't think Jefferson's yards over. I think he's going to go over 100 in this game because I just don't think the Rams have anyone to stop him. And so I like Minnesota minus the 3. I like Matthew Stafford to actually have over. If you can find Matthew Stafford's yardage, something like 225, 230 and below, because Minnesota actually doesn't stop the pass that well. You wouldn't think that, but they actually don't. They're actually at the lower end of stopping the pass. So I actually like Matthew Stafford to have a lot of yards in this game. Plus, I think he's going to have to throw the football a whole bunch. And so I also like a Matthew Stafford INT, and I know we already bet the primetime INT. So if I mention it on the show like this, I'm going to have more money on it. I'm going to have more on his interception. And then, like I said, I like the Justin Jefferson yardage over, and I like his touchdown. Now, some of these lines right now aren't great, right? Like you came out on Tuesday, if you looked, Wednesday, they move around a lot for Justin Jefferson because he gets a lot of play. So I'm going to be looking for maybe even alternate line, give him over 99. I'm going to be looking for him to get over 100 in this game. I just don't think the Rams can do anything with him. They don't have a player or even a couple players that I feel like can do much with him. And obviously Darnold looks for him. So that's just, I'm not going to overthink this one. I think Minnesota minus 3 is probably even worth a couple units. It's not even just a standard bet. I actually think you can put a couple more dollars on it. And if you don't like the 3, you can just money line it. It's not a terrible money line. When I last saw it was minus 150. But if I was going to do that, I'd be looking to make a large bet, like, 10, 12 unit bet or 10% of your bankroll, however you do it. It would be a much larger bet if I was going to money line it. But that's where I'm at in this one. I like Minnesota minus 3, Stafford over 230-ish yards, 225. Just depends on where you can get it. Matthew Stafford interception. Thank you. These people are insane. Justin Jefferson touchdown and Jefferson yards over. All right, so let's move to the Sunday plays. These commenters are out of there. Gotta love it. So let's go to the single plays on Sunday. So one of the games that really just jumped out to me was Green Bay laying under a touchdown at Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville's been playing better later, but it's because of who they've been playing, not that they've been any better. But I think this is an easy cover here. I like Green Bay minus 4.5. Green Bay's coming off a big win against Houston. I think going on the road to Jacksonville is going to be like a vacation for them. I don't think Jacksonville comes up with many stops in this game. I know that Jordan Love likes to throw the ball kind of recklessly, but that's not the best when you have teams that will actually catch it on the other side. I don't think they have that in Jacksonville. Also, the defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars isn't going to do much, and the defense for the Green Bay Packers is going to be able to stop Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville gets over 14-17 in this one. I fully expect Green Bay to get in the high 20s. I actually think this is a pretty easy cover, maybe the best bet of the day. So moving on, we're going to go Philly-Cincy over 48.5. So I got a couple reasons for this, right? Number one, neither of these teams stop the pass. Neither of these teams do anything about the other team throwing the football. So I fully expect there to be a whole bunch of scores, a lot of passing yards. I just think that the Eagles, you can throw the ball to any quarterback throws the ball good on them. And the Bengals are the same way. If you have a serviceable quarterback in a passing game, you're going to be able to throw the ball all over him. So I think this over 48 here, over 48 and a half. I know that it's 7 touchdowns, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game is 21-21 at the half. I mean, I fully expect it to be both teams over 14 points at the half. You may even want to bet the halftime over in this one as well, the first half over. I just don't see either defense stopping either offense here. They're too loaded at receiver. And for that reason, because Philadelphia is so bad at stopping the pass, I like Ja'Marr Chase to have a touchdown in this one. So there's 2 bets in that game that I'm giving out here. I like Philly Cincy over 48 and a half, and I like Ja'Marr Chase to score a touchdown. You're probably not going to get great odds on it. I bet it's like minus 130, 140, but I haven't, obviously, a lot of these props aren't out yet for Sunday. So these are things that I'm telling you that I'm betting at this point, because on Sunday, you'll have to wait till Thursday, Friday. This is when they start coming out. So let's move to Baltimore versus Cleveland. On paper, this one is like a slam dunk for Baltimore, but they're laying 11, 10 and a half, 11, 10. So it's not quite the slam dunk. Plus, Baltimore's playing a different quarterback. You're not getting Deshaun Watson to help you, win the bet on the other side. But I do like Baltimore in the first half here. I think the offense for Cleveland is going to take a little time with the new quarterback, and I don't think they're going to be any better as far as effectiveness. They gave away their best receiver. I don't think they're going to move the ball a whole lot, and not that I think the Baltimore defense is great, because they definitely have they've underperformed, or they're just not as good as they have been. So, but I like the first half. Baltimore in the first half laying 5 points. I like Baltimore in the first half to win the first half laying 5. I know that seems like a lot for a first half, but I don't think Cleveland will be able to score much in the first half. So you could go the other route if you wanted to and take the Cleveland team total under in the first half, would also be something you could do. It's only going to be like 10 points. So, but that's what I like here. I like Baltimore laying the 5 in the first half. I think this game's going to get out of hand really quick. Just because I don't think that Cleveland will be, even though Cleveland's defense is solid, the Cleveland offense won't be able to move the football. Yeah, it would have. But that was a good quarterback with good receivers. There was a lot more in that than Cleveland is not going to field that. Cleveland's not fielding a bunch of good receivers. They're not fielding a high-quality quarterback. So I just think Baltimore dominates this game early and often. And I like Baltimore minus 5 in the first half. All right, Buffalo, Seattle. This game's an over. Neither of these defenses stop anything. This game's an over. Getting over 47 is simple. Buffalo with their new toy. Seattle, neither defense stops anything through the air. Both quarterbacks have big days here. This over 47, this game's probably going to be 28-27 or something like that. Some crazy big number. Buffalo, Seattle, over 47. There's not a lot to talk about that one. Both offenses are pretty solid. Both defenses are not great at all. So the one thing is, I would be on the Buffalo side, but it's in Seattle. And so they're flying all the way across the country, or however they're doing it. I just don't like that aspect of it. So that's why I went with the over. I do think the one thing in Seattle is weather could change this. So keep an eye on the weather. If it's pouring rain, don't bet it. But if it's nice, there's going to be a lot of scores in that game. Indy and Houston. I feel like that this is the spot. In the first game this year, they played like a 32-29 game. It was a really weird score, something like that. And it's divisional, and Houston is coming off a big loss where they didn't perform at all. Like, they just performed like crap against Green Bay. Indy doesn't field that same type of defense. I like Houston's team total here. I think Houston gets over 24 points. It's 23.5. I think they score over 24 points in this one. So the Houston team total. Where did my pen go? I done lost my pen. Houston team total here. If you guys don't know what I mean by team total, I mean only Houston is going to score. This only counts for Houston's points. Over 23.5 for the game. I don't think this is a big ask here. I fully expect Richardson to throw the ball to him a few times. Now, the one problem with this is if Richardson goes down and they put Flacco in, the Indy will probably win the game. Flacco is still a really good quarterback. As long as he doesn't have to do a lot of movement and he can just throw it, he's a really good quarterback still. And then, but that's really it. I just think Houston bounces back from a terrible offensive performance, and I think they put on a show against Indy. And the first game is any indicator, there's going to be a lot of scoring. So I like the Houston team total over 23.5. Kansas City -10 versus the Raiders. I would love to be able to tell you who the Raiders quarterback in this one is, but they don't know either. I don't know. And you're going against what has seemingly been the best or the second best defense, third best defense in the NFL, against the 6-0 team that you made fun of in the offseason with a Kermit the Frog doll. And this is going to be bad for the Raiders in this one. The Chiefs are going to come into this one with a chip on their shoulder. Because of all of that. And whatever quarterback they throw out there, I feel bad for him because he's not really part of any of that, right? Any quarterback they throw out there won't have been a part of that team. And they got, I think, brought in Desmond Ridder. And it's a bad situation for the Vegas team right now. And with the Chiefs getting their new toy in DeAndre Hopkins, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be really bad for the Raiders. So it's laying 10. I'm going to lay this 10. I don't have any issue with laying this 10 at all. Normally with the Kansas City game, I wouldn't want to. But this one has been circled on their camera ever since they came out with that stupid video holding the Kermit the Frog and all that. The Chiefs are going to kick the Raiders' teeth in this one. And there's also even some rollover from last year in the game where the Raiders beat them and Mahomes had all those bad plays. There's even more of that. Like this game, the Chiefs have had circled. See, I like the over. Bills in Seattle, I like the over. I don't like the under at all. Unless it's weather. Neither of those teams stop the pass, and both of those teams like to pass. So I don't. The one thing when you have teams that pass the football, the games take longer, right? Because the incomplete stops teams that run the football all the time, the game goes faster. So no, I'm on the over on that one. I'm glad you're on the under. That means that I'm probably going to win, Dr. Don't Pass, because, well, everything I'm against you on, I always do good with. So thank you. I'm glad. My last pick for this, I know I have a lot this week, right? Like last week I didn't have hardly any. I only had 4. But this week I have a ton. I thought all the games lined up really well. And I got the Chicago money line here. Now, guys, this one is dependent on Daniels. If Daniels plays, I'm not betting this. So if Jaden Daniels plays for Washington, I'm not going to bet the Chicago money line. If he doesn't, I am. So right now, I saw it was sitting at 1.5, minus 1.5, so I took the money line. If it gets to game time and Daniels is playing, I'm going to lay it off. What laying it off means I'm going to bet the other way and get my money out of it, because if Daniels is playing, that's a whole different situation. If he's not playing, I like the Chicago defense versus Marcus Mariota. I know he had a great game last week, but if history serves us, Marcus Mariota doesn't string together a lot of good games. Usually it's like one good, one bad, one good, one bad. And the Chicago defense is pretty good. So that's where I'm at. But if Daniels is in, I agree. I think if Daniels is in, I think that the Washington side will win the game. It's in Washington, so. But if he's not, I actually don't think they will. I actually think the Bears side will, because the Bears defense will stop Mariota from scoring. Now, for everyone's favorite segment. I'm going to talk about the teaser plays that I like this week. It's not very many. Normally there's quite a few, but this week the teaser plays, the reason I don't like as many this week is because I think just the sides or just the totals are better plays. So this week I got the Jets -7.5, taking it down to -1.5. Against New England. I like Philadelphia +2.5 going up to +8.5 in the shootout versus Cincy. I like Baltimore. Okay, I will in just 1 second. I like Baltimore -9, taking it down to -3. It could be -10 by now, but I like getting Baltimore underlaying a touchdown. I like Denver in the same aspect, getting Denver underlaying more than 10, 9-10. You get them under a touchdown, I think they win. They're playing against Carolina. And I like Dallas to get going from +4 to +10 against San Francisco. Now, I know in the past this has been a blowout, right? But that San Francisco team is decimated. There's nobody there. I'm probably going to have a money line play on Dallas in that one as well. But I do like getting 10 points with Dallas on a teaser. So that's all I got on the teasers, guys. That's the whole group of them. It's the Jets, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Denver, Dallas. You tease them 6-point teasers. Pair them up how you wish. On 6-point teasers, guys, I fully suggest you only do 2 legs. I would never do more than 2 legs. To me, when you start, it's already not good having to win 2 bets to win 1-to-1. When you go 3, 4, 5, you have to win all these to just barely get anything. Yeah. There's a lot more in that Dallas game than Dallas has been punished by those guys. There's a lot involved in that. And San Francisco's just so beat up, man. They were on like their 7th and 8th receivers and stuff. So they're just real bad stuff going on in San Francisco. Their injuries are terrible. But so that's where I'm at on the teasers. California Craps Club, you wanted to hear about Atlanta, Tampa. So here's the deal. Tampa Bay has basically no receivers. Evans won't be there. Godwin won't be there. So their backups are the dude with the big hair. His name's Hollins maybe or something like that. They got a pretty good tight end in Cade Otton. They can kind of run the ball. The problem is against Atlanta, Atlanta's going to be able to take all that away. I think this one's an Atlanta win. I don't know how big Atlanta wins here. Atlanta's kind of been up and down, kind of shaky. Like they played this really good game against the Chiefs, and then they've laid some eggs. But Tampa, without their big stud receivers, I like Baker Mayfield a lot. I like his attitude a lot, but at some point you lose too much talent. It's the same thing that's kind of happening with Brock Purdy. Too much talent is just off the field now, and you just can't manufacture the plays. It just doesn't work when you're trying to do it with guys that have maybe repped it 10 times all year, when you had the other guys that repped it 10 times every 30 minutes. It's not the same thing. It's hard to overcome this. There is some injured player theory aspect there. You lost both of your best receivers. Maybe everyone else rises up for Tampa and makes a good day, but I wouldn't bet on that. I think Atlanta wins the game. It might be close because Atlanta's a little shaky on their stuff as well, but I think Atlanta gets this done, and Atlanta has the better defense. Overall, Atlanta's defense is definitely better. So that's right on that one. Wouldn't surprise me if there's not very many points in that one. Wouldn't surprise me if that one's lower scoring. Just because both teams are very, they're really, really looking for this win. This win is big in that division, right? This is for the division lead there. So I don't think Tampa can overcome their injuries. You can't have them 2 stud receivers and then it just work when they both go down in 1 week, and now boom, next week you're going to make it happen. I don't know that they can do that. And I also think Baker Mayfield's beat up a little bit. I don't think he's fully healthy. So there you go. That's where I'm at on that one. Any other questions before I got to go into work here? I got about maybe 5 minutes before I got to go in. But yeah, so this Thursday night game coming up, I actually think this is going to probably be a Minnesota blowout. Wouldn't even surprise me if Cooper Kupp's not on the team by Thursday. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Cooper Kupp is sitting with a different team. One thing I want to talk about really quick is how the Kansas City Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins for a 4th or a 5th round pick. So it's a 5th round pick. It could turn into a 4th round pick. How did they pull that off? The Giants at Pittsburgh. Okay, so there's no doubt in my mind I'm on the Pittsburgh side, right? No doubt in my mind. Are we going to see the same Russell Wilson performance? I feel like we are, because the Giants don't defend what Russell Wilson does well. I think George Pickens has a big game in that one as well. I think they do the exact same thing. They just kind of let Russ just load up and heave it down the field, and then they try to run the ball some and play good defense. The Giants have no legs to stand on. You know, Malik Neighbors was this great show for a couple weeks, and then he gets hurt. But that's because every play was to Malik Neighbors. Every play, every throw. I have to be on the under on the Cardinals-Dolphins. I've tried to buy that Miami can manufacture points without all their pieces. Now, if Tua plays, I'm on the Dolphins. On the total, the 45, it just seems low, right, in that game. If you put that game on paper and you had all the healthy players, that 45 seems like a halftime number. But and the Cardinals, I just watched the Cardinals play against the Chargers and go down the field multiple times just to kick field goals. And it's just, they're so untrustworthy. But it just depends on who's the Dolphins quarterback. Who are we playing for the Dolphins quarterback? I don't trust him to score very many points without Tua. Now, right, yeah, he's still on the 4 games, right? He has to be 4 games or whatever it is on IR. So until that's replaced, until they can throw the football, because they're built around throwing the football, I can't. That's why you didn't see on any of my stuff. I don't have any faith in either of those teams to perform. Now, on the Cardinals, I do have faith in James Conner. They're going to give him the ball a lot. So if you're going to bet his rushing, receiving combined yardage, he's probably going to go over 100, 120 in that combined yardage. So I do like James Conner. If you're just going to choose a player to play in that one, that's the one I would choose. He just gets a lot of touches. He's effective. He seems to stay pretty healthy. So that's where I'm at in that one. Hello, Jamal. But anyways, guys, I'm going to have to go in here to work. 12-hour shifts, night shifts, a split shift, swing shift, whatever you want to call it. Days and nights. Did get a promotion recently. So there is that. I'll wager making some more money at work. I'm a crew leader now. I'm over a few people, or however they want to call it. I tell people what to do for a couple hours. So anyways, y'all have a great day. So that's why I'm having to be here more often at nights and stuff. I have to train some people. I'm not the best trainer, I don't think. At least not at this point. I've realized I don't know that I'm a great trainer. So there you go. It's not like we're training football or baseball or basketball or something, trying to teach people how to do a job they're already supposed to know how to do. So it doesn't exactly fit my skill set. Anyways, guys, thank you for your time. Thursday night, be watching Minnesota. I don't think that game's going to be close, so probably not going to be all that fun. Y'all have a great day. This is Jacob from When'd You Be This?